about me doing the intro, right?
Huh? Oh no! If
What?
you want to, you could be the first.
No.
No? No? Okay.
It's
Okay.
your intro. It's your intro.
Okay. The intro's gotta be. Alright, here we go. You know what? I think what we should do, because I want to do that DJ set. That was really cool. 3, 2, 1. Hello and welcome to the Virtual Voices Podcast. I'm your host Bleach Streaks, and today I'm interviewing with Ambrosia. She's one of the most kindest individuals I've ever met and seen IRL, because they're a warm-hearted, sweet being, and you know what makes them so cool? Because they're a bro within heart, within Ambrosia. I don't know. How can I say that? How can I say that in a cool way? It's fine though. Anyway, I hope you guys do enjoy this. Please enjoy this podcast on episode 13 or 14. God, this is a long podcast series. So I hope you guys do enjoy this. See you guys later. It's not a beanbag this time, it's actually a seat. So I need to I'll figure out a different intro with that so we can make it so cool. How's this? Is this better? Is this
Beautiful.
Cool? Beautiful?
Beautiful.
Nice. I like it. You ready for this?
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. So, how you doing, Ambrosia? How you been? How's it going? I haven't seen you in a little bit. We've both been busy.
Yeah,
I've been seeing you been popping off on these new things I always hear about. And from the last time we met, you are just like a superstar. From Schism to like the IRL to your TwitchCon, like you've been making these moves, dude, and it's been a fucking wild ride. And I hope you're doing well with it.
Yeah, things are going good.
That's awesome to hear. So
Yeah.
tell me a little bit about your journey. Where have you started? What are you doing right now? And what you doing?
Well, I guess I could start off with where I started with music, because that's kind of my thing now, I guess. So
It is your
probably,
thing.
It is my thing. So I'd have to say, I mean, music has been a part of my life, my entire life. I've always found that whenever I can't express something, or I'm struggling to understand my own feelings and things, I always found that music made it a lot easier to, I guess, put it to words.
Put it to words.
Put it to or understand like what I'm feeling with a certain song.
Yeah, you
that
made your music
invokes an
into
emotion.
how you feel.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And so, when I started DJing and started making music about almost a year and a half ago, it just felt right. It just felt right to be
like you were part of the purpose of making music, and
exactly.
you made everyone's day better, and also yours as well, because you know how to express those emotions, and that's what the livelihood of being part of that music scene is. You can create the music that made you into what the emotions are. That's it's really hard to interpret something with music, because it's audio waves, making that music come to life as well, visually and mentally, and also just listening of how you can create the heart of everyone's like I guess you can make people feel better, to what I was trying to say. And that's a really unique thing from a lot of DJs and also music artists. So such a cool journey to hear all this stuff, especially from you as well, because I know the first day when I went down to your place, I was like, dude, I was freaking out, because I was like, this is crazy when I saw the whole DJ deck, and I'm like, oh my god. And then how you set up your lineup was like so fucking cool, and I was just enthralled. It was crazy. But tell me, how did you start? What was your first kind of I don't know, what inspired you to make music?
So there's a couple people that inspired me to start DJ and start making music. I went to one of my closest friends, Thrill Seeker. We had gone to Second Sky back in, I think it was 21.
Oh, I mean old,
Yeah.
first when you started music in general, when you were a kid to like what you're at
when
now?
I was a kid.
Because that's what I want to work my way up from when you started to like
From when I was a
getting
kid.
into VR. Yeah, when you're a kid to like
so
wherever you started.
it's cheesy. It's cheesy.
It's
so when
I've
when I
heard
was
so many
little,
stories. It's never cheesy. I just love to hear these.
So probably as far back as I can remember, my mom and me, we would listen to the oldies back in early 90s,
Stray Cats, and
early 90s. So but we were listening to like, oh god, Twist and Shout, Do You Love Me, the old, like what is called the oldies back in the 90s was called the oldies. So like, you know, the old crooner classics, whether it's, you know, Nat King Cole, Bing Crosby, Satchmo, all of those old school songs. So I grew up with music. And so like even when I was little, like I would stand on a little the plastic $5 IKEA
of course
stepping stools, right?
Everyone's stepped there once in a while.
Little me, and I'm standing in front of this record player that we had. People know what a record player is.
Oh, please, y'all know this.
Please know
about it.
So I'm standing in front of this with two cheap plastic chopsticks.
Oh, what?
Conducting. Now, mind you, I'm like maybe 3, like conducting the music. It was. I mean,
it felt like
you
were making.
I
you're
felt
making
like I was
something.
conducting the music.
Yeah, exactly. You wanted.
And then
that's awesome.
And when I was older, I fell in love with the sound of the musical show.
Yes.
And there were times where I would be listening to, let me date myself here, listening to the tape recording of the soundtrack.
Oh.
On my Walkman tape recording Tape player.
Tape player. You're good. You're good.
So. And I remember there was this one time when probably the first time ever, like the battery started to die.
Oh no!
And then with tape recorders, when the batteries would start to die, the dials would not spin as fast, and so the audio would be so warbled. And I remember I got scared. I went running to my mom. I was like, "Mom, what's going on?" I was scared because it was the first time
the batteries have a mind of its own.
My mom's like, "It's okay. The batteries are dying."
The batteries are dying.
I'm like, "What?" I was probably like 10. I probably barely understood what was going on. I was probably less than 10. I was probably like 7.
Batteries are supposed to be always living and never dying, and then it just turns into batteries never die. What do you mean?
Yeah.
I mean, at least you had a taste of what you thought was like I guess how batteries were and how things can at least like go.
Yeah,
as
I mean,
goes,
I learned.
I guess.
That's how I learned how that worked. So that was good.
That's a funny.
But I mean, I guess music, and then just all through my life, I've listened to music for whether it's I want to express my emotions or understand what I'm feeling. And so, like, if I'm feeling sad and I don't really understand why or how I'm feeling sad, I would listen to, sad girl music, whatever, to help me, like, internalize what's going on.
Yeah.
And then I fell into, so as growing up, I listened to a lot of rock and heavy metal.
Yes.
And so I was a big metalhead for a long time.
I feel like we all are a metalhead once in a one. That's the good times. Those are the good ones.
Yeah. I mean, it inspired me to, learn to play the guitar. I wanted to learn to play, I haven't played in years, but
guitars are so much fun.
Oh, it's so much fun.
So much fun. I love it.
So like I got my first guitar at my 16th birthday. It's still hanging on my wall right now.
Hey, I think I did see that.
Yeah.
That's a good guitar.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
So when you brought all that music and stuff to where you started really young, and was your family ever part of like the music kind of esque stuff?
No, see that's the funny part. Other than just listening to music with my mom when I was little and listening to it my whole life, we're not really a musical household. I mean, we sing Christmas carols and we all joke about how off key we are.
Hey.
So like that's kind of.
Hey, somebody had to make a statement for like music, so you're like, you know what?
I promise you.
Hey, I think all of us had to make a statement of just like, you know what? One of us are going to be one one of the kids out there to make music, and you know what?
Yeah.
It's kind of
I
like
mean,
I'm down to do it. I'm down to make
yeah,
that music happen.
yeah.
You never know.
Uh, it was kind of funny. So like when I started DJing and producing, my mom was like, "I didn't know you liked music like that. Like,
Ooh,
why?" I was like, "Mom, I grew up with music. I used to do the conductor thing, and you would spin me around the living room at our little apartment when I was a
that's
little baby, listening
so
to the
much
oldies. Like,
fun.
of course I love music." And
It's
my mom
so
was
much
like,
fun.
"Oh yeah, I guess that does make sense."
We all had to do something very very I guess kiddish when you were younger, but then it
Yeah,
became
of course.
something more than just that, and you brought yourself into a whole nother stage of like, I want to make music now, and where you
Yeah.
started really popping off. When did you start like? I guess how you started getting into VR chat was when you started making music, correct? Like,
No,
did you?
no, not necessarily. So
Okay, okay,
I
okay,
got into VR right at the start of the lockdown.
okay.
Um
COVID, about so.
yeah, COVID
COVID.
lockdowns. So basically I was like everyone else. I saw the I've been into I guess I'll let me back up a I've been into VR. I kind of understood what VR was back in like 2016 when the Index came out. I think it was the Index came out. But back when it was still brand new, but you still had to spend $1,000 to buy
Oh
an
yeah,
Index.
yeah.
I mean,
No,
it's
for
still the
sure.
case, but like
It's
back then it was like I was like if it had been like maybe $500-$600, like the
maybe
price of
maybe a
a
dazzle down with a little bit of a
yeah,
not too
the price
crazy.
of yeah, like
Oh,
the price of a console, then yeah, it would be fine. Um
Do you
oh,
know the way?
Kuwait, can I
oh
help
shoot.
you?
Hello.
So basically I saw the ad on Instagram about
Oh,
how yeah, because so Meta had gone through this before Meta was Meta.
it's
So
meta.
basically
Yeah.
how I found out about VR is I mean I watched Jacksepticeye a lot.
Of
He did a lot of
course.
VR stuff, of course, right? So I
Yes.
started to look into getting into VR because like this is really cool, sounds great. And then I looked at the price range. It was like
Oh yeah,
yeah,
that's
basically to get
yeah.
an index, which was cool, or I think back then was there's still the Quest 1 was still
The
around.
Quest 1 was
Maybe it was
probably
the
still
Rift.
going, and like
I
at
think
least at
so.
its like small time frame, and then like
Yeah,
the whole index
but
started
it
to
seemed
pop off.
from what I could gather, it was like it was just out of my price range to go into something that looks fun, but like I can't throw $1,000
Right, right.
on what so I thought to myself, all right, I'll give it a couple years. If this continues to go on, I'll look more into it because I really enjoy SAO with VR and all of that, and so there's a lot of little things that kind of like kept pushing me towards I get into VR. This should be cool.
Yeah. Yeah, you had to
And then
step through the barrier of just like, will this be fun? Let's do it and just
yeah,
step it
exactly.
through.
And
Yeah.
so when 2020 happened, and I think it was like Christmas of 2020, I got the index. Or not the index, excuse me,
Oh.
Quest 2, the Quest 2.
Quest 2.
Because
Quest 2.
I kept seeing the notifications of like get a Quest 2, the all the advertising
All the
that
advertisement was just
at the time it
insane.
was still Facebook. Oh, they're in.
Yeah.
So like I was scrolling Instagram and I'd see Quest 2 VR, and I was like, all right, that seems kind of cool. And then I looked at the price and I was like, well, shit, I got $300 to
Hey,
throw.
let's
Let's
go.
do
Let's
it,
do it. Let's do it. Fuck
So I
it.
bought it. And I was immediately like, this is amazing. I mean, I was on the phone. I was on the phone with one of my best friends at the time, and I remember putting the headset on, and just the loading screen of it starting up for the
So
first time, I was like, it's like a kid in a
Oh.
candy store. I was like, what the? This is so cool. And we all know. We all know how limited the Quest is. So imagine if somebody had dove deep in and gotten an
Oh,
index
yeah.
and dove right into VR chat or whatever
dove-
right away.
Right? Like
So
you had
I was.
Go on. Sorry.
Oh yeah, no, you're fine. So I kind of started with like I played like Saints and I think yeah, Walking Dead, Saints and Sinners. I played a couple single player games, and I was like, well, this seems really cool. And because of the algorithm, I actually found one of now my best friend at the time didn't even know the guy, Thrill Seeker's videos.
Hey. Yo,
Yeah,
let's
so
go.
because algorithm gods deemed that you bought a Quest 2. Here, VR content.
Hey.
And so it kind of worked out that way. I joined his community. I met a bunch of people. I met him. I became friends with him. And then, yeah, so that's kind of been how the short and long of it, that's kind of the journey of how I became part of the industry, part of VR chat, and enjoying that.
You brought yourself into the mix of just virtual reality, and now you're making these moves of bringing yourself into creative sources, which is like
Yeah.
meeting new people and then getting to learn
Mhm.
about how you can grow as a DJ. And that's
Yeah.
something that's bringing that into the mix is like, how did that start? How did you when you well, what was your journey as a DJ? How did you get into
Um,
DJing?
so for one, I'm the queen of this looks cool. Let me dive right in and buy, as the $600 roller skates sitting in the corner collecting dust get a test.
Yes.
I have a bad habit of being like, ooh, this sounds like fun. Let me dive into it. And so knowing that about myself, when I first realized that I want to try mixing music and DJing, why not? Could be fun. Um, Kind of the main, I guess I'll back up just a stitch. The main
hmm
inspiration was when myself, Thrill, my best friend Queef, and ended up meeting Fia there at Second
Yeah.
Sky, the Porter Robinson's rave Second Sky
Yes.
festival. Um, I don't know, just something about that trip really made me realize that this type of genre of music, EDM, is really means so much more. The plur mentality of ravers and all of that really inspired me to kind of like really enjoy this. And then honestly, Thrill started kind of messing around with DJing, and I was like, well, shit, if best
Hey,
friend can do it, why not I,
hey,
right?
fucking, I heard about that, and
Yeah,
at this journey, to be honest, like you could be a good or bad DJ. Either way, a DJ is somebody that creates music that
yeah.
can create something that's from your part of your perspective of what kind of music you have in mind. And at this point, if I became a DJ, a lot of my friends would support me. People would think I'm bad. And either way, you're going through an experience of just like, fuck it. That's kind of
Yeah.
the whole enlightenment of this is like VR does have a great impact for that because you as an
Yeah.
individual became a fucking DJ. And if it wasn't for VR, you wouldn't be as good as what you have if it wasn't for like some friends and maybe some people from IRL.
Absolutely,
And this is like the
absolutely.
connection stage is that like even though you met Thrillseeker and stuff in FIA,
Yeah.
either way, like your journey is to
I mean,
try.
the name, honestly, the name doesn't really matter. It was one of my friends
Yeah,
started DJing in
yeah,
VR and got me to think I could, like, I love music. I can do
yeah.
that.
That's
And
what brought.
so
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
really how I started, was just like, I love music. I love seeing live music. I know I can do this. So I started.
Yeah, you started it, and
Yeah.
did you? I'm curious about this, but did you? How did Thrillseeker ask you any questions about DJing? About like getting to
Honestly, no. We've
honestly
kind
no.
of, I mean, as my best friend.
Then
Um,
yeah.
but we've kind of had this. We're on our own journey.
Yeah.
Yes, nowadays we do. Sometimes he'll ask me, "Hey, what about this?" Or I'll ask him, "Hey, how did you do that?" Like, there's definitely some friendly back
Okay,
and forth of like
for sure.
support in that regard. But no, I guess when I first started my thing, we were both kind of learning as we went at the same time.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
when it comes
That's
to like
so
what to
sick.
do, how's this? So I learned a lot of what I did just honestly by trial and error and
That's literally what it
getting
is.
yeah, by getting I got a few tips from some of my friends when I started making more friends with the other DJs. They'd be like, "Hey, try this effect and try it like this," or
Try this sound
"Hey,
sample, yeah.
backspin out of when in doubt, backspin," or whatever it is.
Yeah, transition. Yeah,
Um,
transition.
yeah.
Like
So
that's
there were a lot of things that, but honestly, there were just a lot of things that I just learned by. I remember the first time I even started like mixing music, I was just on mouse and keyboard because I didn't want to spend money on equipment that, because I'm queen of jumping in headfirst and getting bored 2 months
yes.
later.
You
So
get yourself
I
into
made
something.
sure,
Hmm.
yeah, yeah. So I made sure that like this is something I wanted to do. And I remember when I
Right.
first started mixing music, I was just using mouse and keyboard with Serato Lite,
Fuck it. Yeah.
and hours went by, and I was like, I'm out of music. Dude, this is
Oh
so much
no!
fun. Yeah, so
No
and
music,
so
no
that's
life.
no
No
music,
music,
no
no
life.
life.
So I just had fun, just playing around, and that's a lot of what I do when I'm having free time. Is that I'll start
You literally
mixing
have a
and
blast, and you kind of make
yeah,
the dream of what you made. And personally, from this perspective, it's like, if it wasn't for the music talent that you had back in the day, you wouldn't be creating as good music as what you did back then if you never knew what you're in now. Because it's kind of like you had to
yeah,
step up from like getting into music, and usually everyone's like, hey, let's go join a band, let's make a band and see where that goes. And
yeah. A lot of
maybe
people
there
do
would be
that.
step forwards to where like, hey, let's become a DJ IRL. And everybody
Hmm.
knows, for you to do that, it takes a lot of time, it takes a lot of effort, it takes a lot of connections to getting to know how to get business related stuff. And
Yeah,
knowing the connections in here does benefit you from bringing yourself into something more than just business related people. It makes content, I mean, it makes business related people into something more of a friendship type and gets you more into DJing. And the community that what brings it is the VR platform that creates these friendships into upgrading to like bigger, I guess, bigger connections to what you can achieve, which is an actual DJ.
yeah, yeah.
And you never know when you as an individual will be in an IRL like rave and see your avatar in an IRL rave. Because I've seen those before. I've seen people dance. I've seen
Yeah.
people play like IRL. I've seen people like it's weird. Like I've seen people dance from IRL to have like VR chat avatars, literally just dancing. And then I've seen also, which is weird, like a DJ set in IRL but have VR chat avatars as DJs. Like it's such a weird thing to explain because there's a lot of stuff on the internet that I've just like thralled to see, but seeing how like this is something that like you work your way up towards is like now you if it wasn't for this you would have never gotten to like that kind of moment, and everything just kind of balances to where like everything matters for a purpose of this. So this does
Yeah.
help out for a lot of the connection based
I
stuff.
apologize. My tracking.
You're
Annoying.
good. I'm
Wonky.
No, you're good. So from where you're at with your story of DJing and stuff and all these connections you've made,
Mhm.
there was a time. What was this very special time in the whole in the DJing and VR chat stuff? Like, what have you gone to that was really special to you when you went from like? Because I remember the last time you were talking about like like the IRL DJ stuff, and I think somebody looked at your stuff and he thought it was like amazing.
Probably, I'd have to say one of the big moments. That was definitely a big moment. We had the big IRL rave show down in San Diego, and it was really fun. That was part of connection with uh, Club Tube and Club Schism. Schism is
Yeah,
one of the clubs that I manage with Queef. It's actually Thrill Seekers Club. He asked me, I guess that would be one
it's a
when Thrill asked
collaboration of
me.
other clubs
It's a
that like
cooperation,
it's a
yeah,
cooperation.
exactly.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
Probably
yeah.
one of the big events that was really meant a lot to me. There's two. One of the big ones was when Thrill asked me to manage his club, Schism,
Oh man,
with Queef. Yeah, that was really big. It meant a lot to me because he's one of my closest friends, and I've been myself Queef have been kind of with Thrill as he came up with the idea for Schism, as
oh,
he
it's
came up
such a
with the
cool journey
concept
right
art.
there.
So
Yeah,
we've watched this thing grow from conceptual, just an
I
idea we were spitballing while we were drunk hanging out in
yes,
VR, to it's an
yes.
actual club. We have events
Oh
twice a
man,
month. And I'm managing it alongside my other best friend Queef.
that is so
Um,
cool.
so that's an amazing
I
experience.
remember when I was out. I don't know. It was like a. All I know is that there was a club with like Naku and Rage Mage, and like I was talking to you about it, and you were talking about the club about
Mhm.
Schism, and
Mhm.
just you and Queef were there, and just I don't know. Like I actually was just when I overheard that, I was just like, oh my god. And just the amount of energy
Yeah.
you were pulling in was just so like this is gonna be a sick event because you already know the inspiration when it was beside like when someone's inspired when they get into the down and like details about how they're going to create it, and this is where this actually accomplished and happened. And
Yeah.
things like that if you have a dream which you can create, especially with the collaborative people will make the journey happen. It's just about how you can think about the positive things, because at the end of it, you start with the draft and then you work your way up to what you can create, and that's what Schism became. And I was talking about it to you a long time ago, and look where you're at now. Like, you literally brought something into like what made it now, which is Schism and the journey with everyone together. I'm pretty sure y'all had like a laugh of like if this was a funny moment and some like hardworking moments, and that's what it takes to actually create something that's from the heart, because like you all created something that was unique, and look where it's at now. You guys fucking blew that shit up and like made it happen.
I mean, we had an amazing event down in San Diego at TwitchCon.
So much fun. So much fun.
It was so much fun. I will say it was really surreal to watch.
Yeah.
Because for somebody who goes to Raves IRL often, there's a very different mentality when it comes to like VR raves. Because in VR, if you're tired, you want to go to a different club, see a different DJ or whatever. It's 3 or 4 clicks of a button and you're there.
Pretty much.
And so there's this sense of like everybody shows up, especially like the bigger event. Everybody shows up at the very beginning because everybody's like, oh my god, I gotta get in.
Right.
Because lobbies fill up fast sometimes, especially with the bigger clubs like Schism, Shelter, Tube. A lot of these bigger clubs, even some of the smaller ones too, that I may have missed.
Little clubs, big clubs still can get packed. It's like, and that's like, it's kind of like the same thing as IRL,
Yeah, exactly. Well, so that's also true. But it's interesting because a lot of times when people go to festivals or events in raves, so to speak, in IRL, most people at first it's kind of slow, and then people slowly trickle in, and then basically you're packed by the end of by the end of the night. Everybody's packed in, everybody's there. But it was interesting to watch. Like in VR, it's the opposite. Everybody's there at the beginning, and then usually it's only the hardcore fans or the hardcore ravers that are there till the end of an event, 2 a.m., 3 a.m., sometimes even 4.
Oh, man. Yeah, dude.
It's
like,
crazy.
That's
Trust me. People are crazy.
It's like oh, shit.
Yeah.
4 a.m.
But it was interesting to see an IRL rave, one that we held down in San Diego at TwitchCon, how it went similar to how a VR rave went.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody was there at the beginning. Everybody was vibing, chilling, hanging out. And then
a show, and you must have been like, this is like a fucking awesome thing for you.
It was really cool. It was really fun. I had an amazing time playing.
You were amazing.
The energy was crazy. Everybody was. I saw people dancing, vibing.
Man.
It was
so
great.
Cool. When I was there, I don't know. Like when I was there at, let me first start this off. When I went there to the event, I had a whole bunch of my friends. Everyone met there. I even mentioned about a lot of people going to this event because it's an event. I've never been to TwitchCon. I've never been to these little raves things. And to hear that like my best friend's playing and a bunch of other people are playing and we're going to be there, I'm like, oh my God, this is insane. Like I've never had that kind of persona of like friends that were like, hey, I'm going to be at this event. You should go. And just having a bunch of friends there. And I content creators to like, VR friends, and I even mentioned to someone, his name is Pop VR, and he kind of came through, and I was like, oh my God, dude, I can't believe you actually came through to this, and we've been trying to meet up for the longest time, and just, I've never thought that making those connections in this game could ever be something that I could ever have for like an IRL thing, because when you're in a small like hometown, it's kind of hard to make friends when they don't know what your personality is, and they don't know how to really kind of have that balance with you. Besides in here, it does create that whole like, I feel accepted. I feel like I'm actually part of this little family, and it feels great. So when I went to the Schism event, I fucking went crazy. My friend was getting that whole like thing with their the light show. She was
the Glover,
it was so funny. And then there was like a
amazing
raffle going on. Everyone was turning up. You were DJing. And just a bunch of fucking things went off. And funny enough, I actually won the raffle.
Let's go!
They were getting rid of the raffle. But I was driving off to go get food. And they're like, hey, we have your Blue Yeti thing. If you're not here in like 5 minutes, we're gonna get to someone else. I'm like, oh shit. It's so funny. But yeah, after
That's
that,
funny.
it was. I was like, you know what? Give it to somebody else. I don't need it. I already have one. But no,
Mm.
it was such a little cool community because like I saw the VR chat board, seeing all the names. But you know what?
Yeah.
This was a time of my life where I felt like a bunch of everybody was. I can literally go up to a random stranger over there and just talk to them. I didn't feel like I was going to a rave and just being like, oh man, more people, like this is weird, you know, I can actually conversate and it's just a hangout spot. And that felt like it was such a great time. Talking to Queef, seeing how hard you guys are working. You guys made a great fucking show and it felt amazing and a bunch of my friends were just turning up and it felt like one of the most like experienced great moments I've ever had in my life. So I fucking it's so cool. It's so cool. But what are we at right now for time? We're at 33. All right. So right now from what this journey is from where you started into now with your connections and especially with
Mhm.
Schism, where are you at right now? What's the journey like going to be in the future?
So, well, there's a big IRL 2-day festival that's happening in August that I've been booked for, which I'm
Hell
really
yeah.
excited for. It's in Gulf Coast, Alabama. Tickets are on sale now. It's called Invade Reality.
Oh shit.
Um, yeah, so I'm one of the DJs that are playing for that show. We have a bunch of DJs that have been announced, some that I can't talk about yet, but you guys
Uh
definitely want to go. If you're into the rave scene, if you're into music, if you're into dub and
yes.
wub and
Yes.
all the things, um, yeah, it's gonna be crazy.
Oh man, I'm
Uh,
super hyped up for that. And just oh man, I'm
yeah,
just
I mean, I
so
mean,
hyped.
I can say when I got asked to play for this show, I looked at a lot of the names of other people that had been
Oh,
asked or invited to the server, and they're all the names that of the DJs that I look up to. So there is
oh,
this feeling of
you've
like
made it.
I'm
You made that
here. Why am
name.
I here?
Oh
I get,
man.
and
You,
I see so many people now that come up to me like, oh my god, I love your music. I love what you've done,
I'm
and
literally getting
you're
goosebumps right
you're an
now.
ins. I
I'm
know,
literally
right?
getting goosebumps. That is
I
so
get
fucking cool.
Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, I feel very
You should feel proud
blessed.
about yourself,
I,
Ambrosia.
I'm
You
I'm
should
also I
have
am I am I'm also very proud of the hard work and the effort that I've put into craft, my music.
Oh,
I have a new
hold that thought real
I've
quick. I think I must have pressed an FX layer that I did not mean to press.
okay.
God damn it. I don't know how I did it, but oh, is that no? There's like some black lines that are going through.
Oh,
That's very weird. Oh, is it inclusion? Oh, I fixed it. It was ambient mode.
okay.
Definitely something to be proud of. And, you know, and
Yeah.
personally, you know, if I could put this out there is we all want our moments in life to be cherishable. You know, it only took this
Mhm.
far to where you're at now to be one of the DJs that you get inspired by. And you're ready to fuck that shit up to show people who you are. And you're ready for your favorite DJs to look at you and be like, sick fucking set. You
Yeah.
know, I we hope to be at hope to be at your rave soon, just to have that like connection, and that's something to be proud of. And personally, you know, at the end of the day, in what my journey is to see my friends succeed as well, and to see them really give the passion what they can grow with. Because you talk about it every time I see you, and I love hearing it. I don't have any other like every time I hear someone say about positive shit like that, I just get like I literally get all like excited because it's just making another story that, you know, creating something that you've never been a part of and you were never expecting this. And that's something to be
No,
really proud
no.
of.
I mean, for me, I mean, being known and having my name out there and having my music out there and all of that, I love that. I mean, who wouldn't, right?
Who
But
fucking wouldn't?
I'm not doing this for, I don't have, illusions of grandeur. I don't want to be, I mean, I would love to be on the big stage. One of my
And
big
that's where
dreams
you're
is to
going.
play.
You worked hard
Exactly.
for this and you're fucking doing this for work.
Yeah.
So, you love your passion for this. Don't make your passion your work, because the passion shouldn't be something that you should like
Yeah.
cry or hate that you hate about making this shit, because for damn straight that you took all the time you took out of your day to create something which is your talent, and this is something that you should be passionate for. And personally, I'm excited. If I go to that event, that's gonna be such a show. And I can't wait to just see that show and just see like, damn, Ambrosia, you put all the time and effort into something what you love the most. And that's what somebody would want their friend to see them on the big show. That's what you're doing. Excited.
Thanks.
You should be fucking proud of that shit.
I am.
Hell yeah.
I am so excited and proud,
That's
nervous,
awesome.
and a lot of things.
So what would you
Okay.
say that from all this hard time and effort that you worked on, from all this learning experience, even if it's VR chat, what would you say that is the most inspiring thing that you started from? I guess you could say is, what would you say to the community that is the DJ that you went through that is the most like down-breaking moment that you went through that was a hard time? If that makes
I
sense.
think love who you are in a grand scheme of it all. Whatever everybody's got a talent, everybody's got a skill, everybody's got something that they can, I don't know, bring to the table, so to speak. And never stop fighting never stop fighting for who you are, whatever it is. I mean, VR chat in itself has a very big LGBT
Yes.
community.
It really fucking does.
Myself included. I mean, I'm trans. I've transitioned to the point of I'm happy with myself.
That's what fucking matters.
And so my new track that's coming out, "Who You Are," that's part of. Yeah.
Let's go.
That was part of the inspiration for that track. Was I want people to understand that no matter what goes on in your life, no matter how many people are bringing you down or trying to bring you up, just learn to love yourself. And I know that's easier said than done in that regard. But every little bit that you can to work on that and be happy in yourself, happy in your skin, whether that's you need to change it or not. A lot of people are happy.
If it's gonna make
exactly
you
how they
happier,
are.
then fucking go for it.
Yeah, I mean, there's an amazing supportive community here, especially
Yes, there
in D.
is.
And yeah, never stop. That would be, I guess, my
Never
two
stop
things
loving
would be
yourself.
never stop loving yourself, and never stop chasing.
Exactly. I'm gonna say this now is I talked about this in a past conversation of mine of some friends, and I always would love to see more trans DJs. That's just from me, because personally, I think a lot of recognition comes to where you are happier for yourself, and you should be happy in your own skin of however you are. But I would love for this to happen someday, and that day will be that day that you brought to everybody. And if everyone can see that kind of vision that I would love to see, as more trans DJs, more acceptance into like what brings to the table of this, would be definitely something that I would love. And all I could say is definitely seeing this moment for you is going to be heartwarming for a lot of your friends, and also the best time and the best moment for you as a DJ. So I hope you guys do enjoy this. If you guys do like this podcast, please give it a share, give it a tweet, and also give Ambrosia some love and respect that she works fucking hard for her shit. So I hope you guys do enjoy this. Much love, yo. I appreciate you so much. You're amazing. You're a doll, and you are a true work of a friend, of the best friend that I could ever have. So I hope you guys do enjoy this. I'll see you guys later. Yeah. So when is that date? When is that concert?
It's going to be in August, mid-August. I believe it's the 19th or the 20th. Yes.
So I hope you guys do enjoy. See you guys around. Talk to you guys later. And
Bye.
Ambrosia. But also join the Discord if you have not yet, especially their Discord as well. All right.